SportsLink, brought to you each week by Pure Alkaline Water, Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
I'm here with Austin Mendiola, a 2021 graduate out of Notre Dame High School, playing collegiate volleyball out in California for Mesa College.
I chose Mesa one reason. I've always wanted to come after like high school in Guam. I always wanted to come and go to school here in San Diego and kind of just like move here to California. And so I was looking at junior colleges and I saw that Mesa was like really big in sports. Like they were one of the best in San Diego. So I emailed the coach and she emailed me back and we had a phone call and all that stuff. And so she ended up giving me a spot on the team. And so, yeah, like it all happened kind of really fast. I wasn't supposed to leave Guam till like late August. And then I ended up leaving in July because I needed to be out in a week's notice. So yeah, it was all really fast and it was just a great opportunity. And just
talk a little bit about the college, where you guys compete and maybe some of the top teams that you guys face in your conference.
We compete in a PCAC. That's our conference. But what we just finished now is our preseason. So we challenged like teams in Southern California mostly, not necessarily like our conference, but we challenged like teams like Santa Barbara and Long Beach and like, yeah, so we've done a lot of traveling, especially for preseason. And so next week is when we actually start PCAC. And that's, yeah, we start on Wednesday, and that's more like our specific conference.
Your team finished 7-3 in the preseason.
I think the game that kind of stood out to me was our game against Santa Barbara. It was kind of like, that was like the longest I've ever traveled for a game ever. So that was a new experience in itself. And then when we got there, like the caliber out here, you know, it's just like, it's a lot. Everybody's really good. So like being there and then kind of just I got to go in and play, and I got to play like for a good amount of time.
Was there anything that you really had to switch up in order for you to be able to compete out there?
For one, just even adjusting to the new system, to Mesa's like new volleyball system. I've been working on that and working on adjusting, but specifically like back home, I kind of could just swing away because, you know, again, I was like on the taller side. I could swing away, kind of just, yeah, like just be on that taller side and not have as big of a block as I do out here. So definitely out here so far, what's taught me is that like my shots and more, it's like for me, it's more about placements and more about like spots and zones and stuff like that, and just like kind of a mix of different kinds of swings, not necessarily just me back home like swinging away all the time on the small blocks that we have. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely had to like mix it up and learn like a wider range of like shots, and then also like passing.
Marvin Linder, athletic director over at Southern High, also the ESA League president. With the governor announcing sports able to resume practices and hopefully leading up to play real soon, what are the newest protocols with athletes and coaches?
The newest protocol that the governor and public health has implemented is the vaccination requirement for all athletes and coaches. There's a couple things they can do. Either they have to be vaccinated at least one shot, or they can do their weekly testing. So that's the biggest one.
Any word on which sports might be first to see action this season?
We are going to start off with girls volleyball, cross country, and we are going to implement football first quarter. Well, we really don't have quarters right now because we've broken up. You know, we delayed so long that we're playing into the second quarter. So right now we're going to have them 3 sports start. I'm pretty much trying to get schedules completed and, you know, proposed schedules completed for second quarter to see how it looks. But hopefully we're trying to get everything done before Christmas. And then the second half of the year, we'll resume our normal calendar year and normal scheduling. So that's our goal right now.
A lot of talk with spectators Are we going to go back to how it first started, where one athlete, maybe one parent, or what's that decision like?
Right now, the newest guidance from Public Health 2021-23, I think it states 4 spectators per athlete. But schools can reduce the number based on the capacity of like the gym, for safe social distancing and so forth. So right now we are going to probably reduce that number for our girls volleyball, because some of the gym sizes are just too small to have 100 people in there at 6 feet distancing. A good example would be Sanchez. Their gym's a lot smaller than Southern, so their numbers may be a little reduced more than ours. But either way, what's going to happen is the same thing as we did earlier in the year, where each school gave a list of spectators to the school that they were playing against. And we were able to, do the COVID tracing really well with that. And so we're going to implement that also. So every school will have a COVID tracing list for spectators and athletes.
Terry DeBow, IIAAG president, with the governor allowing sports to return to practices, what's the latest with athletes and coaches?
Well, fortunately, the kids were already practicing at the beginning of the school year in anticipation of a normal sports season. We were set back because of that, for 3 weeks due to the upswing, the uprise in the cases, which we understand it was a precautionary measure. Unfortunately, it did affect some of our practice time. However, with the IIAAG, we have the 3-season calendar now. So our sports seasons during the fall sports would be cross country, boys beach volleyball, boys soccer, girls volleyball, and bowling. We worked together to put the return to play protocols together ever since November of last year. Those were approved by Department of Public Health. So essentially, we're just going to re-implement those rules. Those are all the necessary mitigation protocols, including providing the rosters and names of the athletes and the coaches and the other participants, and doing the temperature checks, ensuring that all the facilities are prepared with and sanitized, just to ensure that all of our activities are performed in compliance with the guidelines, and to ensure that our kids are protected, as well as the coaches.
Anything with vaccination as far as athletes, coaches, and potential spectators?
Like anybody else, we're going to comply with the regulations. So all the teams are required to do the due diligence and in checking the vaccination status of their participants. If weekly tests need to be done, give thanks to public health right now. They've been very hard at work doing the training for the Binax testing. In fact, we had 10 people that were trained within our organization. That pretty much complements a large number of others throughout this private schools that have already been tested, trained, and certified for the Binax testing. I'm just thankful that the governor's given us this opportunity, and that I think it reflects her trust as well as the medical community's trust and the interscholastic organization's ability to safely conduct these activities for our kids. I think it's a very important part of the livelihood of our students. Everybody keeps on repeating it. I mean, it's about the mental, social well-being, emotional well-being of our students.
Ed Owingerang, 2009 graduate from Southern High School, stationed here on island, serving in the U.S. Coast Guard. This was your first time making it on the all-Navy triathlon team?
The Navy triathlon team, every year they put out a annual solicitation for triathletes to apply for. They select all the top applicants to, to vie for the all-Navy triathlon team. Being for the Coast Guard, working with the Coast Guard, we do not have our own triathlon team, so therefore they take Coast Guard submissions as well. And then every year they prep for the Armed Forces Championship in Ventura County, California, at the Navy Air Station that's out there.
Well, you finished 28th overall with a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes. in the most recent competition held on September 11th.
I'm somewhat of a specialist when it comes to triathlon. Cycling is my strength. I think they used me for my cycling abilities. It is a draft legal triathlon event. So my one mission was, as soon as I come out of the swim, was to look for my first teammate and help him on the bike portion so he can draft off me, so he can save all his legs for the run, which will count. And the faster he runs and the higher he places overall, the better score our overall team will get. And I'm happy to say that I was able to accomplish that mission, contribute to the all Navy team winning first place overall over the other military branches that were in attendance.
You are a professional cyclist for Guam's only UCI Continental team, Euro Cycling Trips, CMI Pro Cycling team. The great thing is you qualified for the Xterra World Championships to be held in Maui.
This is a pretty interesting year with COVID due to the lack of opportunity to travel. The way to get in and have a chance to compete in the World Championships for Xterra in Maui, Hawaii, there was a wait list and a lottery, and two of us actually got in off the wait list from Guam, which is pretty exciting. It's myself and Jennifer Camacho, and we're both will be prepping for these next 3 months to represent Guam at the World Championships.
You're looking at competing in the elite.
Right now, with the COVID restrictions, like I said, there's an opportunity for me to compete at the elite division at the World Championships to represent Guam with my professional cycling credentials that I do have. So that is an acceptance. Right now, Guam Cycling Federation President Eric Taidinko has sent them an email with my request. And so far, I meet all the prerequisites. So I'm waiting just to hear back. And really exciting at the moment. I got a lot of support out here in Guam with all my sponsors, with Bike Fix, Cars Plus, Ram Trucks, and the Bridge Fitness, and they're all behind me 100% in preparation for Xterra World Championships.
Keep it locked to the stations of KUAM for all your NFL action. We get you started early in the morning, Monday, September 27th at 3 a.m. NFL on CBS, KUAM TV 11, Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then at 10:20 in the morning, change it over to KUAM TV 8 for some Sunday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers.
SportsLink brought to you each week by Pure Alkaline Water, Mariana's Irrigation and Landscaping.